All right, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story is about something that is actually insane and very, very illegal. And it all starts off back when I was in high school. Back when I was in high school, I remember there was a group of grade 12s in my school that were really, really sus. Like, to the point where I never felt comfortable being around them because they were really creepy. Like, I even remember one time when the grade 9s that were coming in, the brand new ones that just, like, got to the school for their first year of grade 9, I remember hearing one of the grade 12s literally say, fresh meat. It was one of the most freakiest things ever, and honestly, utterly disgusting. Like, seriously, a grade 12 with a grade 9, like 18 to 14, like, are you serious right now? No, but seriously, it was majorly disgusting. And I remember one time there was a grade 12 at my school that ended up actually dating one of the grade 9s a week later. It was super awkward, and I remember one time I sat beside him during a class because he was also failing one of his classes. Like, he was in my grade 10 math class when he was in grade 12. Like, it was one of those saddest things ever to see, but knowing him, he was right beside me, and I had to ask him the question. I literally asked, hey, like, so I heard you're dating like the grade 9. You do realize she's like 14 turning 15, right? He looks at me and he's like, yeah, but like I'm in grade 10. Dude, you're 18 is what I told him. And he's like, oh, you got a problem with that? You got a problem with me dating a girl younger, huh? What's your issue with that? There's nothing wrong with that. We go to the same school. Yeah, dude, but she's literally 14. I remember this guy was like basically shrugging it off his shoulder as if it was nothing wrong. And in my mind, it was still purely disgusting. I don't know. It just made no sense to me how this was going on in my school. So I remember after asking him that, though, he got kind of upset at me the whole entire class. And let's just say I had to move seats because I didn't want to sit beside him anymore, which I mean, safer bet for me. Going on with the story, I remember a year went by and they were still dating. This guy was officially out of our high school, surprisingly, but he had to stay back for one more class. So this grade 12 would literally come back to our school and then go back. But knowing that 1 year passed as well, he literally broke up with his girlfriend. He broke up with his girlfriend. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, oh, like, it's obvious, like, he got out of school and he has no time to see her. That's what I thought at first, but no. The reason that he ended up breaking up with this girl was because she officially turned 15, or should I say 16, since she was turning already 15. And apparently that was out of his age range. So I remember I ended up asking this girl that he broke up with, I'm like, hey, like, why did he break up with you? And she legit told me, oh, like, because he said I was like too old or something for him. I don't know. He's like a real creep though. Like, I remember like I would always send him photos and like he was just super weird. Like, as I got older, he didn't want to be with me anymore. So he just broke up with me randomly. It was just weird, but honestly, it's for the best. I remember when she said that, I was utterly disgusted. Knowing this was an actual thing that happened, like, you guys have no idea how disgusted I was and how much I really did not want to be there. But then begs the question, was he gonna go for another young girl? At this point, I wanted to tell something to my principal. Like, I literally wanted to tell my principal that basically he was a freak and that he was a pedophile at this point, because it was utterly disgusting. Like, it's gross. So I remember I decided to go to my counselor and kind of just see what she thought of it. And I remember basically when I got to the counselor, I kind of explained the situation. She's like, oh, well, you see, he's going through a lot of stuff back at home with family. It's okay. Like, I'll talk to him. I'll make sure everything's all right. I don't think anything's going on with him. Basically, the counselor just kind of blamed his home life for everything that was going on, which, I mean, fair enough. If you're having a hard time at home, I understand. But at the same time, what would that have to do with dating a girl? Like, it just makes no sense. So then I remember I decided to actually one time watch him. I watched him throughout the whole school day, basically, which was only one block, because he would only come for one block because he was already basically a graduate. Because you got to think, a 19-year-old entering the school for one class and leaving just because he failed a couple classes was kind of sad. But, I saw him come into the school and I basically followed him around and kind of see what was going on. As I was following, though, one thing I always noticed was that he went to the bathroom like 4 times a day. 4 times a day. It made no sense to me and it was kind of weird. So I kind of like looked at him and I kind of just like decided to go to the bathroom and see what was going on. When I went in there, no one was in there. So clearly he wasn't like, dealing drugs or doing anything utterly illegal, unless I thought so. I remember I ended up leaving the bathroom and instantly he was right by the door looking at me saying, why are you following me? When he said that, I kind of was like, oh, like no reason. I was just like, going to the bathroom. And he says, you can't pee for 0.5 seconds. I knew you just stood in there looking around. What are you doing? In my mind, I was thinking, why in the world did he think I was going to do something in there? And how did he know I was just standing around looking around the bathroom? It made no sense to me. So I remember I kind of just ended up walking away from him and basically just ignored him. He was really mad at me, but honestly, I had no issue with him. I didn't care. A couple days go by and he still came to the school. And I remember one time when I was in my classroom, we end up seeing 2 cops run down the hallway and we hear a ton of cop sirens, like a lot of them. We had no idea what was going on. So I remember this girl ended up putting her hand up saying, ma'am, why are there a lot of cops outside? I remember my teacher looks outside and literally says, I actually have no idea. Let me go check on what's going on. So my teacher ends up leaving the classroom and literally all the students decided to get up and look outside the window and see what was going on. As we were seeing this go on, basically, there was like more than 7 cop cars outside. It was the most weirdest thing ever. And things got from weird to worse. Because as we saw a bunch of cops basically running around the hallways, there was one student in particular Schooler that was basically running away from the school as fast as he could. And he looked really suspicious. It was literally the guy that was basically what I thought a pedophile. He ends up basically running away from the school and he had something really heavy in his bag. It made no sense. So we were all kind of just looking around going like, what's he running from? And then out of nowhere, and this was the most craziest scene to ever see in my life. Like it was straight out of a movie. We see a cop chasing him down, going after him. It was so majestic. And I literally remember seeing this guy literally sprinting for his life. And the cop literally decides to dive and literally tackle this 19-year-old teenager that was going to our high school still and literally like held him to the ground. Everyone was looking around. Every girl was like freaking out saying like, oh my goodness, like that guy used to like ask me for photos. Oh my goodness, like I know that guy. And basically everyone was talking about him. At this point, I think I knew what was going on. But then the thing that really made me figure out what in the world was going on was that when the cop was going through his bag, instantly out of nowhere, we see him pull out 2 cameras and one like giant kind of like monitor tablet kind of thingy. And then at this point, the teacher walks back into the classroom and says, announcements are going to come on soon. Just everyone sit down and listen. Basically, what ended up happening was that the announcements came on 2 seconds later and it kind of went like this.
We are going to be having an assembly coming soon. Everyone please line up at your doors and head down to the gym. Thank you.
At this point, I think I knew what was going on. It was pretty obvious at this point. When 2 cameras and a tablet come out and this guy is a straight up pedophile, well, you kind of can expect what's going on. I remember all the kids ended up lining up and everyone started heading down for the gym. When we all got down there, we all sat down in the gym and we all sat down waiting for the principal to come up and tell us what was going on. Like, for example, why there were a ton of cops outside and basically the story of why a kid got tackled literally in front of the school. We all sat down and the principal comes up to the school in front of everyone and says, parents, students, teachers, today we're going to be informing you about safety hazard that has happened to our school. Basically what has happened is that a teenager, basically a failing student in our school, has been arrested in front of our school recently because he put cameras in the school bathrooms. I want to inform everyone that I apologize for anything that has happened. We were not informed of this happening and apparently he's been doing it for a while. It's been calculated and the footage goes back around 1.5 years. So if any people have been on the recordings doing anything illegal, we will know because we're going to be scanning through the footage to make sure if any students got hurt and any students have been exposed. For the students that have been exposed, we will be putting an informant out and a police officer will be sent to your home to basically see if you want to press charges. We apologize for this happening at our school. We promise to be more informative and basically be more scanning through our bathrooms to make sure the safety of our students are still capable. Thank you for listening. When that was said, everyone freaked out. Everyone was like, wait, what? This guy recorded us in the bathroom? And here's not even the weird part. Apparently, the student literally put cameras in a toilet seat, one in the like the wall of like the roof kind of area so you can like see into the stalls. And the last one was that he literally put one in the sink. In the sink? Like, how do you not see that? In my mind, I'm thinking, how in the world do I not notice this? It was really awkward. And I remember basically a lot of kids had questions. A lot of people put their hands up and stuff. And apparently he put some in the girls' bathroom, the all-gender bathroom, and even the guys' bathroom. Like, what? He was watching guys go to the bathroom? It was super weird and super gross. And I remember all the students were basically disgusted. Knowing this and knowing that the kid literally got tackled in our school was basically just grossed out. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, he got arrested. Anyways, guys, that's basically it for today's video. Make sure to do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, fall for more embarrassing but crazy stories like this one. Peace out, guys.